Hey JD, you got that Flannery?
Tim, I've come directly from the source.
Flannery
You are
beef.
gonna love this stuff. Have I got a story for you.
Well, these would normally be filled with primals aging in the aging process, but with the shutdown of the restaurants, they're just lying idle now. We have, they're all over the place. We don't even have any place to put them other than the refrigerators, which is just in and out.
And so how has the shutdown affected your business?
Well, it was the restaurants were probably 80% of our business at the beginning when they shut down. The retail business has picked up, so we've got everybody working. We didn't lay anybody off, but it was serious. So as you can see, the tonnage drop would be huge.
Let's see what we got.
All right, so this is exciting.
Sure is.
So and
The piece de resistance.
what we all came here for.
We're gonna cook up this one tonight, and it's gonna blow your mind.
It's the Jorge.
The Jorge. We're gonna do two different steaks. We're gonna do this ribeye, and JD's gonna do a New York. And how are you gonna do it?
Well, there's a place I love going to. It's one of my favorite places, Nancy Silverton's place, Key Spaca in LA. I think one of the best steakhouses in the country. And so I noticed that they were getting their steaks from Flannery Beef. And so during this pandemic, Flannery Beef I knew was in Northern California. So I said, I'm gonna go there. And then I can really apply this technique that I learned at Spaca to trying to perfect that myself.
Yeah, that's great.
As I see them do this at Spaca, they put olive oil on the meat and then salt, kosher salt, which works almost like a brine. They also put pepper on it, fresh cracked pepper.
The other thing I want to add that you told me when you got up here and dropped off the steaks is that their business has been severely impacted by the fact that restaurants are closed.
Yeah.
So I encourage you guys, these are not cheap steaks. I mean, this is like $68 for the steak, but it's an aged, beautifully trimmed, there's no fat, beautifully trimmed ribeye. If you're missing going to a steakhouse and you want an exceptional steak, go to FlanneryBeef.com and get yourself one.
So I'm gonna cook this New York on the grill.
Yeah.
I know you don't like usually cooking on a propane grill, but I'm gonna cook it at a very low temperature and do the reverse sear method.
Oh, that's good.
How are you gonna do it, Tim?
Well, I'm gonna sear it in a hot cast iron pan, and then I'm gonna put it in the oven and cook it low and slow to about 115. Pull it back out of the oven.
I'll probably do about 115.
Yeah, 115 or so. Pull it out, let it rest for a few minutes. While it's resting, I'm gonna melt some butter. I have this beautiful thyme I picked today.
We're gonna do that Thomas Keller.
A little bit of the thyme flavor, not too much. And then I'll do a little basting of it, and then we'll let it sit for probably 15 minutes before we slice it.
I'm trying to stick to the Key Spaca
Okay.
masterclass approach that I've gotten from watching them so much.
I have the utmost confidence that they're both gonna be epic.
Let the games begin. I want to check the temperature. I don't want to put this on direct heat. I don't want it to be too hot. And I notice as we get closer to the direct heat, my thermopen pops up and shows me exactly what the temperature is. I don't know if this was designed to do this, but I like doing it anyhow. All right, so at Spaca, usually I see them kind of flame it up a bit in the beginning. Probably not going to do too much of that.
First thing we want to do with the steak is get some salt on it. A liberal amount of salt. We're going to get this pan, it's starting to smoke, which is what I want. I'm going to just throw a tiny bit of oil in here. It's going to, whoops, nothing in that one. So I'm going to put a little olive oil in there. And it's hot, it's starting to smoke, you see that? And we're going to drop, I'm going to actually start with the side. And we're going to sear this off.
Let's turn it. And let's check the temperature. It's an urban myth that if you stick this, it ruins it. Or if you cut it, that it ruins it. It doesn't. Let's check out Tim's product. don't think he's gonna burn it this time. So it's interesting. You can tell that the fat is getting flaming up a little bit. I like that. About
I have to say, it's like
about 107, 100.
Yeah, it needs a few more minutes.
Few more minutes. It's been on 40
It
minutes.
looks beautiful. It looks,
You want my tool?
Yeah, I need that. 112. The cap is hotter.
43 minutes cooking. Now we're gonna rest this for a solid 10 to 15 minutes. Then we're gonna do the reverse sear and finish it. And I think we're onto something here.
Now the steak is rested, cooked to about 150 inside. I'm gonna finish it off in the pan. And I'm gonna do that by basting it with this pine butter.
Okay. It's been 1 hour and 6 minutes, and we're ready for the final sear, the reverse sear. I'm gonna do something that's probably not kosher, but I think it's gonna work. I'm gonna put a little olive oil on it right now. It'll cause it to spark up a bit. Yeah, baby. Oh, I like that technique, Tim.
Take the bone off,
Beautiful.
and then we're gonna take the cap off. We're gonna leave the cap like that for a second. We're gonna come in and slice this. Looks pretty close to perfect, JD.
Here we go. Can't tell if it might be overcooked.
No, it looks perfect. It looks absolutely perfect, JD.
This is the Terrace's 25-year balsamic vinegar. We were all together when you started making this. Let's drizzle a little bit of this liquid gold right on this.
We're ready to eat, and I'm gonna pour JD a little bit of this Cabernet. We tasted it while we were cooking, and it's absolutely divine. It's a fabulous year. It's a great wine, and it's super great to share it with friends. So let's dig into this steak. JD, go ahead and help yourself.
How'd I do?
I have to say, I think I like the New York better.
Really?
Well, it's different. You know, we talk about this idea of smoke and barbecue. It's such a primal flavor that I think it's important to have.
You know what? Here's what I have to say about them. They're both terrific, and they're that much better because we're all together.
Yeah.
But
And
the
we're
way-
supporting Flannery beef.
And when this whole damn pandemic is over, we'll go to Spaka and we'll let the pros show us
how to do it.
how they
Yeah,
do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the plan.
The wine is super. This is
Fantastic.
super tasty.
Cheers.
Cheers to my good friend. Thank you so much,
Thanks
JD.
for having me, Tim.